So it's been a little bit, and I've been working on my future distant project here. And so with this, I started with the male um, thumbnail sheets. And actually, instead of sitting down and drawing all this stuff, it was just so much easier since there's so much military gear out there. I just pretty much copied and pasted different outfits and stuff like that on here, and kind of worked them in place. And that allowed me to really quickly generate some base ideas. And it's being that it's a thumbnail, very rough. I didn't need to. I just need to sell the idea of what this character is going to look like. So I found some things that I liked and didn't like. I did manage to redo the character costume, and it was just a real quick thumbnail, and I used that process in the prior video where I did 3 layers and painted on top. So this gave me some really good concepts to kind of start with, and then I'm going to add more accessories and kind of go from there to build a little bit better concept. I also did the women's version as well, and simply taking and warping things around, and I came up with some decent ideas. But the main thing that I've been working on is this process here. And so what this is basically the kind of an isolated area within a city that's actually surviving. And so I'm going to just kind of uncheck all here real quick, and I will show you how I kind of built this. So the first thing I did was I got a sky, and I got a base image here, and I just literally cropped out the sky real quick. Did nothing really major, and then I added in my base image, and then I added a saturation to darken the sky a little bit to kind of match the tones. And then I didn't like the background, so I added in a quick cutout of a city, and then I used some levels to adjust it to darken it up. I originally had these windmills in here, but I was told that they wanted something more frequent, more used instead of like handmade. So instead, I pretty much did that. Um, let's see here. What do we got here? This is the new thumbnails, and I pretty much darkened them to match kind of that background feeling. I added smoke in from the background here real quick just to kind of put more contrast on the blades. And then of course I needed to block out the lights because I have no real power in the city that's usable. And then I kind of dimmed down the next set of grouping here to make it a little bit cleaner. And then I darkened desaturated it a little bit to make it a little bit more morbid. And I did some, cleaning up, added broken windows, and that was a little bit later. Oops. I added some broken windows, things like that. Some boarded up panels, added some overlay cracks in the road, and I added some pits. And one of the things that I'm going to do is add cows to the scenery because all these farms basically let loose. I then added the shadows for the cow, and I started color balancing it a little bit. Now I can take that off. I made a base solar panel, and then I kind of put the solar panels, like cloned it, made some shadows for it. So that was pretty simple. And then I added a little bit of solar glare on there, and then I started adding stains, and I added plants because they're doing rooftop gardens now, and so I added plants all over the place, and then much more kind of painted on the further away ones. I did the shadows for things, grimed it up a little bit, and then I added these stovepipes in, which I just hand painted. I added this character and grass to kind of give it that looked in feel, like overgrown feel. And then I kind of added a little bit more of the darker shadows and stuff like that. So essentially, that was kind of the initial kind of painting that I did. And then I kind of used everything to test it out with thresholds, and so you can see what reads and what's drawing the eye and stuff like that. And that's pretty much how I created it. It's a simple step-by-step thing. Oh, and I did add a little color balance in there too. But it's pretty much a step-by-step thing, and I just made sure that things kind of lined up, and overall it took me faster, a little bit faster than I thought, and that gives me an idea of where to go with the next one. All right, I hope that helps you guys.